So before throwing a discus, there's a few drills that are important to do so that way you can get a better feeling for this half turn. And we're gonna start off with the stick drill. We're gonna 3-turn with a stick. And similar to the power position, you have 3 choices. You can go at your hips, at your back like a back squat, or in front of you. We're gonna start off with our hips first, and we're going to 3-turn. Same setup, right foot to left sector, left toe forward. I'm going to simply push forward. And you should see, hopefully, some rotation here on the stick. Stop, reset, stop, reset, stop, and we're done. After you take a few of those reps, on that last rep, you can complete the rotation. So I'll show you that finished rotation here in a second. Push forward, stop, turn. Now, as you see on me right there, I took my head first. When you take your head first, you'll see the other mistake that happened. When I take my head first, my foot rolls. And that's an issue that a lot of kids have. So it's important that we don't make that simple mistake. Because when we make that simple mistake of head first and your foot rolling, you can't complete the throw. Once your right foot leaves the ground, even a little bit like this, the throw is over. You pretty much lose half of your force. So we're gonna do this again correctly at the delivery. Stay heavy on the right side and rotate. So that's a little bit more lined up. Ideally, in my situation here, I would just be a little bit more left so my hips can clear a little bit easier. But that's still pretty successful. Next, we go from this posture, same idea. And when we land, I want to keep my left side back. So the way I'm starting is the way I want to land. Here, land, this is still back, reset, land, reset. And on the last one, I'm going to turn to the finish. So I'm going to land, turn. And it's important that we stop our left side on that block and we rotate hard. Same thing, this posture, right from the middle, left hand towards the camera, right down the middle for us, and we're gonna just squeeze and land. Left hand stays back, reset. Left hand stays back, reset. On the last one, I'm gonna turn with my legs. My upper body should move around. Next, we are gonna be covering a massive idea in the discus, which is orbit. It's important to learn this specifically in the half turn because this is the part where that happens in the full, right? So we've kind of covered the orbit in the power position, but it wasn't too major of a detail. As we said in the standing front, up, around, down, that's creating the orbit, high point, low point. In the half turn, it's a little bit more complicated because there's more movement happening. So we're gonna imagine this is quadrant 1 on a coordinate plane, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4, okay? When we go in the power position, quadrant 3 is where our high point is. Quadrant 1 is where our low point is. And as we deliver, quadrant 2 / a little bit of 3 is where we're delivering, right? So a lot of kids, whenever we set up in the half turn, pick up the discus in quadrant 3. So they'll set up like this, and they'll take their half turn, and they pick up the discus here. If you pick up the discus here, polar opposites, right? So if this is high here, then this is low over here. So as I continue to move, my low point would be there, which means I'm throwing out of bounds because that's my next high point. So now you're not making the full effect of your energy. You're not getting the most out of your high point, low point. So in reality, what happens is as we move through the ring, we start picking up our high point in quadrant 2. As we pick up in quadrant 2, it'll be set in 3, and you'll see the difference of alignment here in a little bit. So I'm gonna go through this slowly, very slowly. I start to pick up in quadrant 2. It's already picking up, and by the time I'm in quadrant 3, it's already high. That's my high point. So as my left lands, my low point's right here, right outside of my left leg. And as I continue to move, my low point happens there. And now look at where my high point is set up. directly outside of the camera, which is significantly inside of the sector line. So as I continue to move, there's my high point again, and now I have a successful, safe throw in bounds. So I'll demonstrate that in regular speed now with the stick. I'm gonna go incorrectly. I'm gonna pick up my high point in quadrant 3, and then I'm gonna pick it up in quadrant 2. I'll go about 50% speed hopefully here. This is quadrant 3. As you saw, there wasn't really a lot of rotation there. It was more of a cut to get there. Quadrant 2. Picked up on this side. At the delivery, everything came on this side. The next drill for us to cover on the half turn is going to be the 2-turn. So we went 3-turn, and on the 3-turn, you stopped, went, stopped, went. On the 2-turn, we're going to touch, go, touch, go. That's the way to think about this drill. Touch, go, touch, go. So I'm going to set up, same idea. I'm going to just be relaxed with my arms for now. I'm holding a non-discus. So I'm holding a stick. You can do this with a ball, with whatever you have. And the goal is the moment that I touch, I'm going to react to my second turn. So here, touch, go, touch, go. The point of this is reactivity. Demonstrate that one more time. Touch, go, touch, go. I'm going to do that one more time with the release at the finish. Touch, go, throw. The key to this 2-turn and the idea of touching and going is reactivity. Oftentimes whenever we land, we want to take our time to rotate. And truthfully what happens is the moment that we land, we have to think block, rotate, block, rotate. So if I go and I let myself be passive and weak on this touch go drill, let's look at what that looks like. There's no fluid force. It's really just my left side pushing me. And what we want is for our left side to push and our right side to turn. So it's important on this touch go idea that the moment that you land, you push and rotate, push and rotate. The same thing is important when we land and throw. When we land and throw, we want to think land, push our left side to stop, rotate our right side to throw. And oftentimes what happens is we land and we'll completely fall on our left and try to hit with our right. Or we'll go hard on the left and stay stuck on the right. So the 2-turn helps you, although you're not necessarily throwing, it helps you to understand the reaction of your left side to your right side. Your left side and your right side system has to work together to produce forces. And it's not dominated by the right or by the left. They're equal forces that happen to produce massive throws forward. The next drill that we're going to cover in the half turn is kind of an advanced drill, but it's one of my favorite drills for more advanced discus throwers. They're called open half turns. Now, these open half turns are really important because it teaches you how to control your upper body. So I'm going to demonstrate what that looks like, and then we're going to talk about it. Traditionally, in the half turn, we start off like this. On this half turn, we're going to start off like this. And all I'm going to do, same principles, push, squeeze, rotate. And as I do this, I'm going to close my left side. So check this out. Left side closes. Close, open. The reason why this is important is because it teaches you to wrap with your left shoulder. So if I go here and I let my left side stay open like this, I'm not really going to have any catch, as we mentioned earlier. Even if my eyes are at the correct focal point, I don't have a lot of catch. A lot of times when we land like this, or we start like this, and we let this get open. So if we are a kid that is very overactive with the upper body, I recommend open half turns because it teaches you how to close, and then it teaches you how to open. So as my body squeezes and I rotate, I'm thinking close the left side. And when my left lands, I'm thinking open the left side. So it's teaching you this very important idea in the discus of catch or coil and release or uncoil, right? And what that means is, as I move through the throw, I want to coil my body to create a lot of torque. And then when I ground, I want to uncoil my body to produce a massive explosion forward. So the idea in the half turn really is coil, uncoil. When we set up in this half turn, it's hard to really get the visual within your body or the understanding within your body of coiling because you're already started coiled. I'm already coiled here. If I start off open, I'm uncoiled. So it lets me feel coil, uncoil, coil, uncoil, okay? So this drill isn't for everyone. If you are someone that struggles with the idea of separation or you struggle with the idea of uncoiling and coiling, this could be very helpful to you. But if you're someone that naturally does this very well already in a regular half turn, I wouldn't recommend doing this drill.